Hi everyone, Deb here. I am here to share some alternatives that I've done so far for the February paper pumpkin kit, which is the one that came in this adorable box, and it's called Sweet Springtime. I used the stamp set with the exception of the Welcome Baby stamp. I did not use that. I used the daffodil flower and the greenery from here, and that's it. That's the add-on that's good to use with January, February, and March. And I brought in this Sentimental Swirls, which I believe, yeah, it's retired, just the thank you, and that'll be in the first project that I show you. And for two of the projects, I brought in the January 2024 Spellbinders branching out regular embossing folder. However, as I'll show you, you can use any embossing folder that you have. I just happen to have that handy. So let me set them aside for now. And I do have things left. I had set aside one of the boxes just in case. This envelope, which actually I can use with one of the cards. This envelope and the one slimline card, I did cut up one of them. And I have this card front yet, not the back. And I have this frame. And I have this much left of one of the wreath things. I cut it up, which you'll see in the last project. A little bit of tear and tape left. I did use it on, I want something for a ribbon. I only have this many dimensionals left, and I did not bring in any of my own, but I used all the edges except for these two, and I have this many dots left, and just a little bit of linen thread, which I hope to use up because I don't want to store it, and these two banners, and this is all scrap from an envelope. I'll probably save that one because it's got very vanilla color on it. This one had like crumb cake and white. That one, I don't think I'll save that. I'll put it in the recycle. A little bit of the top of the chicky thing. And I don't remember. This was off a card base, I guess. This was part of the box, as were these two. I used most all the rest of it. And then this is a scrap off one of those, as is that. And these, I'm not going to save these little bits, but these are envelope bits, the flaps, and another little strip. So that's what I have left, and I'm going to remove that stuff for now from the desk and show you what I made. The first thing I made is a set of 4 little thank you note cards. And this was I had to make my own 3x3 card bases. Also, the yellow is Daffodil Delight cardstock that I ran through that embossing folder I showed you. After I cut it, I put them in there. This is the slimline card. Might be front and back cut up. Yeah. And then these I punched. I thought I was looking for a die or a punch that matched the 5 petals, and I found one in this Petal Park Builder punch, which I think is in the annual catalog if it's still available. I'm not even sure. But this one right here is the only thing I punched out, and I just took scrap. And early on I used white scrap from my stash, but in the last project, yes, the last project, I used one of those extra pieces from the box I had left, and I was able to get 3 more out of that. So that's what I used there. And then the envelopes you can get, I think you can still get them from Stampin' Up. They're the 3x3 or 3¼ by 3¼ envelopes. So basically it's a 3x3 card. This is 2¾ and this is about 2½ each of these. Not exactly quite. Oh, and this is from the add-on die, this here. So I die cut one each out of Granny Apple Green, and I punched these, and then I used Daffodil Delight. I can't remember if it was dark or light alcohol marker, and just drew the little centers in to look similar to the flowers here. And then this thank you's out of that Sentimental Swirls, and I did use Early Espresso to stamp that, and on the white is just I have so many half-inch scraps from my stash, it's ridiculous. So I'm going to put the stamp set for this in with the extras. So that's the first thing I did, just little thank you note cards. I think they came out really cute. And these, like I said, were actually, I lied. These came from the box, not the card. See the box? These are all from the box. Each of these 4 sides. So that's what that paper is from. Okay, so that's item project 1. All right, the first card I made, also using some of the box. And I just have it with a white envelope for now. I might change it to that other one. Anyway, these are 2 of the flaps, the front and back flaps from the card. They don't have the ridgies in the middle. I still have those left. So what I did is I took a piece of white cardstock from my stash. I used my blending brush, and I used Balmy Blue and Granny Apple Green just to give it a little scenic color, you know. I stamped the daffodils here with the stamp set in Early Espresso, and then I used, for the stems, I used the Stampin' Write marker because it has a skinny tip to go in the stems, but the top part I used light and dark Daffodil Delight. This is one of the banners. I stamped Happy Easter from the kit. I put the linen thread through the holes there, just tied a little bow on either side. Now how I did this is I glued this, well, I put the frame down, and I tucked the bunny and chickie behind this greenery, and then I bumped up the head of the bunny so it's more 3D. I don't know if you can see that there. And then also, I was wanting this to look like an awning coming out. I don't know. I just get weird ideas. But there's like a crease there, so I thought, ah. So I glued it down up here, and a little bit in here. I could have got it maybe just a smidge closer. And there was a little bit hanging off the edge of the card mat, so I just cut it off, and that part got tossed. And then this part under here, it's bumped up, is what I'm trying to say. See? So it comes out like a little bit like an awning. And I did put a little bit of wet glue on this so that these would not come untied. And I did use some of the bling from the kit. This was a card base I had in my stash already from Petal Pink. And inside, this is a strip from the envelope, and I actually masked it and stamped the daffodils and did the coloring the same way, light and dark alcohol markers in Daffodil Light, and the Stampin' Write marker for the stems. So I think that came out pretty cute. That's one of my favorite cards that I did. All right, next up, oh, this is another favorite. The first 3 I really like. The next 2 after that, I don't know. So this one, I fussy cut around the bunny more down here at the bottom, and the flower here, and then this is, I just did like this. So this is a regular A2 card, but it's it's just scored in the halfway through. Now, I was inspired by Left-Handed Crafter, who yesterday on her live stream did easel cards, 2 easel cards. And since I was playing with this, I thought, you know, that would be something different. So what I did is I went like this, masked this off, and I stamped the daffodils tone on tone in Granny Apple Green, so that when you have it flat, there's something on the top besides just blank green. right? And it's daffodils, so it's like a field of daffodils. And then inside, I stamped Happy Easter in Berry Burst. That's on Very Vanilla. This was that Chicky tag, this, cut up. Just have the chickies. This was a scrap. Mm, I'm trying to think. That was from the card, I think. That was from a, oh, because I put, yes, that was part of this card base because I put that in the background here. You can see it peeking through. It's not part of the box like these other cards were. Um, Sorry for reaching. So I have that in the background. Then I cut a little piece off down here to have behind the bunny. And I put the chickies next to the bunny and that chickie, so that chickie's looking at that chickie, see? And then I got a tiny little gap in between here, and I decided to wrap the linen thread around it and tie a little bow there to kind of fill that gap. And the bunny and chickie are bumped up on dimensionals. The bunny's ears are going to get tired, but that's what stops it and makes it stand up. So I think that's really cute. And I did put the flowers, 3 of them on. This one I actually glued down, but these 2 are bumped up. So they had 2 more down here. I didn't put those on because I used them somewhere else. All right, so that is, and these just have, actually I'm going to switch this out for a Very Vanilla envelope because it's Very Vanilla inside. There we go. Just happen to have a little bin of envelopes right here. So that's card 2. Let me move them down so we can see them. And then card 3, I had the envelope, this envelope, and I had cut it. So I had this piece. Um, I actually used this piece, I think. No, wait, I'm getting confused. Yes, this is a piece of envelope in the back here because it's thin. That's how I can tell. It's not card base. I think that's right. Let me look. No, I'm lying. That is, yep, has to be because we didn't get, hang on. Oh, no, it was from here because I used the bunnies here. This is the card back from this card. Okay. Now, this one is envelope because I didn't cut up the other card, I think. This is thin. And I put it on petal pink. Then I had this crumb cake. So I cut it out with a deckled circle die from Stampin' Up. I ran it through that Spellbinders branches. What's it called? Branching Out, January 2024, Embossing Folder of the Month Club. And then I spritzed it with Granny Apple Green dye-based marker. Can you see the little speckles in there? I put the wreath on. I die cut the leaves from the add-on out of Granny Apple Green. I die cut these out of Daffodil Delight and Garden Green, which is the other color in here. And I cut the garden green one, cut the flower part off, and I just glued the stems on top the yellow. And then I went around the edges of those with Granny Apple Green too, because a little bit of the yellow was showing and I didn't like that, and I had to fix that stem. This is bumped up on dimensionals all the way around. I did stamp Happy Easter in, what is it called? Early Espresso. And then inside of this one, another piece of envelope, also with Very Vanilla. And this is a Very Vanilla envelope. So that's that one. Okay, now I was forgetting what I had, right? So I really like all 3 of those. The next 2 I was kind of grappling. So this one used part of that slimline card. I just cut it off up here. I left it the width, I think. This is another one of those bits that was on the slimline card. But I didn't put the wreath on it. I tied, hang on. I tied Petal Pink. This was from 2022. It was in, I think, Petal Pink and Misty Moonlight or something. Anyway, I really like this thinner ribbon, but what I did is I wrapped it around, I taped it onto the back, and I did a fake bow. And I just bumped up the little daffodil pieces in the corners and put some dots on, and that was it. And then inside I did put Happy Easter, and I stamped the little chick in Daffodil Delight, and then I colored it in light Daffodil Delight, dark Daffodil Delight alcohol markers, and Petal Pink non-alcohol, the dye-based marker for the what do you call them? Their feet. I forget. And then the beak too, because that's kind of how they colored it in. And I stamped this in Granny Apple Green. So that is that one. And then the last A2 card, these are all A2 size, is this one. I just happened to have a crumb cake card base. I had 3 of these bunnies left. These 2 pieces were off the box. They were white and, oh, they were the bottom flaps. That's what they were. So they're a little, they're not exactly square because you can see they go in a little bit. I rounded the corners. I took my blending brush and put balmy blue on them again. I had 2 more daffodil heads left. And this was another piece of, nope, this is an envelope. This is the envelope inside that came with the slimline card. And so I used that and put it on the front. It just seemed like it was lacking something. This is retired ribbon. Also, it is Bumblebee gingham ribbon, which I love. And I was going to put a bow, but I decided not to. And this is where it's not wrapped around anything all the way. I used tear and tape to put that down, and it's sticking pretty well. And then I die cut 3 leaves from the add-on because it just felt like it needed something else. And so I have 1 over here and 2 here going into the crumb cake. And then I used 5 of the dots, and inside I have another little piece of envelope. Oh, this is the last, I think. I think that's the last daffodil head. And I stamped Springtime Greetings. I know it's bunnies and chickies, but they're out in the yard at springtime with the flowers and things. So I think it's fine. And yeah, that's it for that one. Just with a white envelope. And then that's the last cards. And then I made 2 bookmarks or tags. This is the first one I did. This is on, this is a piece of this card. This. And I don't think I used that before, right? Did I cut 2 of them up? Now I'm really confused again. This is not. This one is. Yeah, anyway. This might be, yeah, it's a piece of card. And then this was a piece of the back. I think it was scrap from here, actually. And this was scrap from when I cut up this front piece. You can see the white there around it. So I had little scraps and I put them on, and then I cut the edges. And on this one, I punched those flowers out like I did somewhere. Oh, on these little cards. And did the same thing. I stamped Springtime Greetings and I die cut it with a deckled rectangle die. Went around the edges with Granny Apple Green. I stamped it in Daffodil Delight. but I didn't like it hanging over the edge so much, so I cut it off and then went around there with Granny Apple Green. And there was a little gap between here and the tag slant or the greeting slanted, so I put the two flowers there and then one down here. Little scrap I had of the slimline card, and you'll see I used some more here of that. And this is another piece. I think this was the last piece of that card, and I cut it to 2 inches, so I might have had a sliver left, but I probably threw that out. This is where I cut up most of the wreath. Here's the daffodils I just glued down here. I stamped springtime greetings right on the paper this time, and then I have 2 pieces. Oops, got some glue there. I'll get that later. Of the purple flowers from this wreath, and I still have some daffodils left. And this bunny was the stamp, and I stamped it, and the only thing I colored was with Petal Pink Light alcohol marker in its ears and its little nose. I left the rest of it white and I fussy cut it out, which I don't like fussy cutting, but I think it looks really cute. Um, so yeah, they're my 2 bookmarks or tags. I did use some of the linen thread on them. So those are my initial alternative projects from the springtime. I keep wanting to say something else. Sweet springtime. I keep wanting to say springtime joy. Sweet springtime. I hope you enjoyed that and got some inspiration. Right away, I knew when I saw that box, I was going to make little note cards. So that is the first thing I did. And I've shown them to you in the order that I made them. And like I said, I love this one. I love this one. Love this one. These 2 are okay, and I do love the tags or bookmarks too. Let me know if you have a favorite. Are you going to try any of these alternatives? I do have a little bit left for this kit, but I think I'm probably going to, put it all in one of these things and label it and be done with it. Although this box is really cute. So I don't know. I might have to keep this box, but then I have to get rid of one other one because I have no more room. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've made any alternatives and how many did you make and do you have anything left and do you like this kit? Um, it is a paper pumpkin kit by Stampin' Up! And I have one more before I have to renew, and then I don't know. I think I'm gonna not renew for a little while. But I will say the last several kits, I've been really very happy with what they've done with them. The only thing I'll say, I don't like when I get these big full images because I find them harder to like I thought about fussy cutting this bunny to do here, and I thought, no, I have a stamp. I'll just stamp and fussy cut. So I do have one more of those card fronts, and I don't really know what I want to do with it yet, unless I make another Easter card, but now I'm out of the daffodils to bump up. You know what I mean? So I prefer to get a little bit smaller images or overall images like this because I can do more with it. And then smaller die cuts like this. So, all right, I guess I better stop talking and get off of here. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and rest of your week. Bye for now.